Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Get Scared here, bringing you guys some Exo Zombie gameplay here today, and it's funny because this is like the first time I've actually uploaded zombies in like a very, very long time. I think I only made like one zombies video in Black Ops 2, and a large part of that was just because I never enjoyed the zombies in Black Ops 2, so I find it really funny how I actually just enjoy Exo Zombies so much. Like, this has been basically my favorite thing to do in Advanced Warfare ever since it came out like a week ago for PS4, and I've just been playing the absolute shit out of it and basically been addicted to it. But like I said, like in Black Ops 2, I just never really enjoyed the zombies. I've played every single map at least once. I know I played like the earlier maps more than that, but like I think Origins I only ever played once or something. But I never really played it much, except if I was playing with friends who wanted to play it or something. I never played it by myself, really. Like, I'd pretty much 100% of the time choose multiplayer over zombies in Black Ops 2. But in this game, I'm just enjoying it way, way more. So I decided I'd make a video comparing the two and just, like, basically analyzing them both for the pros and cons. Pretty much all of this video is going to be my personal opinion, by the way. Obviously, I prefer this better than Treyarch's, but I mean, a lot of you guys probably prefer Treyarch's, and I don't want to offend anybody. The only real fact, like, the only real thing that this definitely does better, which is like an absolute fact, not personal preference, is the graphics, because obviously it's on the next-gen console, so it's going to look better than Treyarch's Black Ops 2 Zombies. But other than that, pretty much everything just kind of comes down to personal preference, and I mean, there's obviously a lot of similarities and a lot of differences between this and Treyarch's, and I just find that the differences make the game better than Treyarch's. I think the main thing that really bothers me about Treyarch Zombies is how it really just feels unrealistic at times. Now, obviously Zombies isn't realistic, like with buying guns off walls and shit like that, but in Black Ops 2, there are just some downright silly features that I feel are just there to make the game appeal more to little kids. For example, on the map Buried, you have to get this giant hillbilly drunk, so he'll break down barricades for you. And on the map Mob of the Dead, I was actually really excited for the whole Alcatraz theme, by the way. Like, I thought it was going to be like a really cool survival horror experience, but they ruined it with stuff like Afterlife mode and like that giant hellhound that you have to feed zombies to. Like, stuff that just felt comical and just... it felt out of place. It felt like it was meant for kids, and it just didn't add to the whole survival horror thing. It just took away from the immersive experience that it could have brought without it. Exo Zombies doesn't really have any elements like this, at least for right now. I mean, maybe the next map or the one after that, like maybe it'll have something more comical to it, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. It's just when it's overdone and it's in every single map, I really just don't like that. I really appreciate Outbreak for the fact that it just brings that really survival horror feeling to it. Like, being trapped in an Atlas laboratory with all these zombies, like, it's actually like a scary thought to me. Now, the zombies themselves. So in terms of appearance, I don't really have anything to complain about with the Black Ops 2 zombies or any previous COD zombies, but I think the zombies in Advanced Warfare are a really big improvement. That could just be because of the next-gen consoles and the better graphics, HD textures, all of that, but I really do think that our team did a fantastic job on the zombies in Advanced Warfare. Like, some of the zombies, especially the infected ones, they just look absolutely horrific, and it is just really terrifying, actually. I'm going to be honest. Like, they just look insanely just grotesque and all of that. Now, in terms of gameplay and actual movement and mechanics and all of that, I think Advanced Warfare is a huge, huge step up from all the previous CODs, both in terms of player movement and zombie movement. Now, the zombies in previous games have always been really slow, and it's always been really easy to just train them, and I mean, sometimes they have a slight jog to them, but generally it's always easy to outrun them. But in this game, a lot of the zombies have really high movement speeds, especially the infected zombies. They have like this crazy run speed, and then a lot of the zombies actually have exosuits on them as well, which allows them to like boost like right up towards you when they're like a huge distance away. And then of course they can also strafe to the left and right, which makes it even harder to train them. So this game, I think it adds just a really awesome challenge to it, and I personally like that a lot. I know some people might not like the extra challenge, but I think it's just, again, it just adds to the whole survival horror experience type thing. And in terms of player mechanics, I really like the movement and all of that. Like with the exosuit, I think it really does add a lot to zombies, because if you don't have that exosuit by like round 5 or so, you're basically fucked, because then the zombies start coming with exosuits themselves, and it just gets really, really hard to avoid them. And if you actually do go down and you don't get revived, you just bleed out, you actually have to get your exosuit again. and it just adds this huge challenge to it, so I really enjoy that. Now in terms of perks, so the perks in Exo Zombies are pretty much all the same as in previous CODs, like they just kind of like renamed them, like Exo Health is Juggernaut, and Exo Reload is like the Speed Cola or whatever, and it's just like basically all of the perks have returned. And then there's also Exo Slam, which I personally really enjoy. They just basically took like your default ability in multiplayer and just made it an actual perk, and it's really fun to actually slam the zombies. The first time I used it was actually in this gameplay you guys are watching now. I just tried it out, and it actually does a decent amount of damage, and it makes zombies into crawlers, so I think it's actually a very useful perk. And weapon upgrades. The weapon upgrading system is a bit different. I mean, like Pack-a-Punch, that's just like one upgrade you get. In this, it's like 25, I believe it is. I don't know. The highest I've actually gotten is like 11, like weapon upgrade 11. They tell you what upgrade you have in like the HUD area, like where it says what gun you're using. Like right now, AK-12 Mark IV, so that's like the fourth upgrade for it. And I believe there's 25, like I said, and it basically just slowly makes your gun better, and you get better camos, which I think is really cool, actually. A nice touch that they actually like change the camo on your gun. And you get better sights too and stuff, like you get a red dot sight, and then I think you get extended mags at 1.2 and a laser sight and stuff like that. So I think that's a really cool system, actually. So it's kind of like Pack-a-Punch, except they just basically multiplied it by 20, so you just get to do it more and experience it more, which I think is really cool. I guess it kind of adds more longevity to zombies. And then right now you're actually seeing care packages fall from the sky, and that's just basically like random rewards. There's also like little panels on the walls that you can sometimes grab credits from, and a lot of the time these care packages either drop credits or score streaks, and I think that's a really cool addition as well, because score streaks are extremely useful in zombies. If you're holding down an area, like I do later in this gameplay, I think I hold down like this area right where I'm going to now with the decontamination zone. A sentry gun would be very, very useful, and then you also have assault drones, which are just very useful when you're just like, maybe your teammates go down and you need something to cover you or something. The assault drone's very, very useful. There's also a camouflage one, I think. And I'm just like a really big fan of that stuff. I think it's like, it gets you to stop camping as well. Like you see care packages fall from the sky, you need to go grab them like right away. Now the last thing I actually want to talk about is just a really little subtle change that most of you guys probably wouldn't even notice or care about really, and that's actually the addition of hit markers. Now I think that's something that's always actually bugged me about previous zombie games, is that there's no hit markers. Coming from someone who primarily plays multiplayer, it's always just satisfying to get those hit markers when you're like shooting at something, and when you don't get them in Black Ops 2 zombies or previous game zombies, it's just not as satisfying to me. But I'm really glad they added them in this, because it makes it feel more, I guess, complete, or more satisfying to actually get the kills on the zombies. And it's always nice to just actually know if you're hitting them, because sometimes like you don't even think you're hitting the zombies, like in previous games when you're shooting like long distance or something. So I'm a huge fan of the hit marker system that they have. And other than that, I can't really think of any other changes that like I think are an improvement. I mean, there's obviously some other changes, but I'm probably just indifferent to them, and I don't even really notice them myself. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Like, what changes do you think are better? What do you think is improved upon in Exo Zombies? What do you think is a step back? Maybe you guys prefer Treyarch Zombies over Sledgehammer Games Zombies? Like, let me know in the comments. I don't think Treyarch Zombies is bad by any means. It's just personal preference. I like this a lot more. But anyways, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed, and peace. Have a good one.